by Verizon Wireless, by Aflac, by Carrabba's Italian Grill, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and by Dodge. Back here at Turner Field, we get ready to go. The Braves, the Padres, it'll be Clayton Richard and Javier Vasquez. Got a little bit of the wet stuff, and so the start of this one pushed back just a tad. And some news before the game as the Braves announced that Tim Hudson is going to get the start on Monday in Florida. And our Lincoln player profile, Putty, 6 rehab starts. There are the numbers coming off Tommy John surgery, and coincidentally, his last big league appearance at then Dolphin Stadium, now Landshark Stadium. And Jerome Jurinovich talked with Tim Hudson on Dodge Braves Live.
I definitely feel ready. I told Roger after my last start, I felt like I was ready to go. But I understood the situation with the rotation, and I knew that I was actually scheduled for one more rehab start, but that I felt like I was ready if they needed me. And throwing my bullpen before the game, I felt like things were starting to click, and the main thing was just my fastball command was the only thing that was really kind of. I felt a lot like it was holding me back a little bit, and after my last start, and then throwing on the side, and then throwing my bullpen yesterday, I feel like things are zeroed into where they need to be.
So Tim Hudson before the game, Kenshin Kawakami will be bumped back. I don't think there's any real surprise there. His shoulder has a little bit of fatigue to it. Last night he started off strong, and then kind of the wheels came off on it. But Kawakami, a guy we've talked about it a lot. Over in Japan, you start every 6th day, and he has battled shoulder fatigue. Heck, he had it in spring training.
He did indeed, and I think what they've noticed is that when his arm and when his shoulder gets tired, his stuff really drops off quickly, and that's what happened last night too. But as far as Tim Hudson coming back, I couldn't be more excited to see Tim back out there, and like you said, coincidentally, in the place where he had to walk off because of the bad elbow last year. But he's ready, he's antsy, he's been ready. And it gets moved up a little bit, but he obviously is ready to go.
Yeah, it's interesting because he was scheduled to start his final rehab start tomorrow, so he'll actually be going on extra rest, on 8 days rest. And I asked him before the game, does that screw you up? Does the extra rest do anything for you? And he goes, nah, man, I've been resting for about a year. So yeah. He's ready.
Yeah, he's had enough of this, and he's ready to get in live action between the lines. And hopefully tonight the action between the lines for the Atlanta Braves is a lot better than it was last night.
Braves take the field. And umpiring crew for this one, Mark Wegner behind the plate, Rick Reed at first, Jeff Kellogg, Tim Timmons, the rest of our crew here. Overcast skies, but no rain right now, and that's the good news. And how about our total starting lineups? Bud Black and the San Diego Padres. Will Venable, his last 25 games, is on base just a tick under 390, slugging over 600. And, of course, you combine him with the likes of Adrian Gonzalez. You have Kuzminov in back of him, Hundley, Gwynn, and Richard. The rest of the lineup, they will go up against the right-hander, Javier Vasquez, who, as we mentioned, trying to bounce back from his last 2 starts.
Still has an outstanding ERA of 3.14 despite those 2 losses in a row to Philadelphia and Florida, and a great batting average against him, and is closing in on 200 strikeouts yet again. He pitched great against the Padres on August 4th, beat them 9-2. 7 strong innings, only 4 hits and 2 runs allowed. He's 4-4 lifetime against them. His 4 keys to pitching success, one of them is very obvious tonight, and that is no home runs. Just talked about how 7 of the last 9 runs he's allowed during this 2-game losing streak have come by way of homers, so keep the ball in the ballpark. And he's another guy that we talked about in our opening comments, veteran presence. The Braves need the veterans to step up, show the way, and show how to get out of this funk they're in playing against these teams they should be beating.
Yeah, it's really odd, but first 2 games have not gone the Braves' way, and Chipper Jones got to try and get it going at the plate. So we are ready for first pitch tonight from Turner Field, and the speedster, the leadoff man, Everett Cabrera, to lead it off. At 269, the on-base solid, 359. They kept him off the bases the first night. That 12-inning game, he went 0 for 6, but last night, 2 hits, 2 walks. And he was a pain in the backside of the Braves. First pitch of the game. Misses up and away, and we are underway with ball 1.
Tip of the cap to Ed Mangan and his crew too for getting the field ready on such short time after taking the tarp off.
Javi paints the corner with that fastball. 1-1 on Cabrera. Javier Vasquez, throughout his career, has been a guy who's been an innings eater. He's 33 years old. He's never been on the disabled list. He's gone 200 innings 8 of the last 9 years. And the 1 year that he didn't do it, he threw 198 innings. A liner and a base hit into left field.
He's doing wonderful work for this ball club, getting on base and trying to set the tone. There are some places on the field that are still wet, though, and some that might be treacherous. As great as this field is at drying out, there was one spot right out here at shortstop, right where Escobar stands, that was wet, and then all of this area where they drain the water off the tarp. When they push it off the tarp, that's where it goes, right out there in the shallow parts of the outfield. That's going to be wet and a little soft for a while, too.
Now it's David Eckstein. And the veteran second baseman takes ball 1. This is another guy that's been a thorn in the Braves side in this series. Eckstein last night, 3 hits and a walk. And in the opener in the 12th, he had the game-winning RBI double.
Cabrera with a great stolen base percentage, 19 out of 22, among the league leaders in that category. So not only is he fast, he's pretty smart at picking his spots too.
Even up on Eckstein. Eckstein, who played at the University of Florida, played with former big leaguer Brad Wilkerson there. Current big leaguer Josh Fogg as well. And as well played with Mark Ellis of the Oakland A's. Shallow right center, and racing in is Diaz to make the grab.
Since you haven't been on the field during the heavy rains that fell, even just playing catch, you're not sure what the footing's going to be like. So you're running a little gingerly in the outfield. And like I said, this field drains wonderfully, but you don't want to take off and have your footing go out from under you. So when you start, at least here early on, you got to be careful about where you step and how solid you're coming down.
So 1 out, a man aboard, and Adrian Gonzalez at the plate. He's had a very good August, a very good second half. And the Braves have had their hands full with him through the first 2 games of this series, Joe. A mile high in the air to right. Diaz coming in, and Matt makes the grab.
That was hard to track, too, as high as it was in this overcast sky.
Had no idea where that was.
That was a mile high. Thankfully, Gonzalez got under it, or it would have been one of those long balls.
It makes the play-by-play is tough when you don't see the baseball.
When players are running everywhere and who's got it.
That's exactly right. Ground ball left side, and Diaz makes the catch.
Like the old single wing option offense. Who's got it?
Vasquez pumps in a strike to Chase Headley.
He's had good luck against Atlanta, too. He's had 8 hits in 5 games.
And remember, no Kyle Blanks in this series. The big guy's been battling plantar fasciitis, an injury that is very painful, bottom of the foot. And we got to look at him out in San Diego. He was impressive.
Didn't bother in taking batting practice. I watched that yesterday. What a show he put on. 280 pounders all.
The speedy Cabrera at first. He led off with a single to left field. And Vasquez falling behind Headley 2-1. Good off-speed pitch there. And it's 2-2.
Here's a case with the guy at first base. A couple of pop-ups prevented him from having any chance to run, but I'm not sure what he's waiting on now. Why not take a chance?
%86 is phenomenal. Really, anything over 75 is very good. The National League average the last time I checked, Joe, was down a little bit. I want to say the National League average for stolen base success around 70%. It's usually 73 or something like that.
And if you're not stealing at least at 70%, then you need to consider not running.
Yeah.
You're not doing your team any favors.
Yeah, the NL average is at 70%. Runner goes. Big jump for Cabrera. And it stays 2-2 on Headley.
He didn't take a peek to see if the ball was going to be put in play, so he went in head first. And on this, with this drying agent that's on the field right now, that's right on the surface, anybody that goes in head first has got to be careful about sliding right by the bag, because it will keep you rolling right across the top of the surface.
And in terms of the texture, it's kind of coarse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pebbly, like kitty litter a little bit.
A little bit. Bobby's got a couple of deliveries to the plate. Oh, there you go. That's the texture there. Does that help you?
Going again. And in the air left field. Long run. Anderson makes the grab. Hobby pitches around the leadoff single. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Here come the Braves. Joe Simpson with you. The Braves coming up to hit. Toyota's starting lineups: Diaz, Prado, and Jones, the top three. Ryan McCann been hot the last 9. 5 homers, 15 knocked in. And he'll have Garrett Anderson, Yunel Escobar, Adam LaRoche, Omar Infante, and Javier Vasquez in back of him. They'll go up against Clayton Richard, making his 6th start with the San Diego Padres.
Great numbers. 3-0 in those 5 starts. The only number that might stand out for you are the bases on balls. He'd walked 18 in 27 innings. Fastball, curveball, changeup guy. And his keys to success, a walk per inning, well, he hopes not, but those walks are high, and right-handed hitters expose him a little bit. He owns lefties, but righties hitting .291 against him.
Diaz hits this one to left. Headley has it, and Matt retired. 1 up and 1 down. And it'll bring up Martin Prado. I mentioned that Tim Hudson, by the way, will be back on Monday. Nate McClouth should be back on Monday as well, so that'll be good news for the Braves.
And Monday's the 31st, is that correct?
Yes.
Monday is the 31st, so rosters can expand the next day. I was just about to say the Braves' top hitters against left-handed pitchers this year are the top two of the top 3 hitters are at the top of the order. Diaz at 374, Prado 322, and the guy at second is Infante, and he's batting 8th tonight. He's 354.
Careful.
Slippery conditions. Try to maintain an athletic base at all times.
Did he get the ball? He's getting 5.
I hope he did.
Oh, there's the ball.
There's the ball.
The other guy's got the ball.
They'll be telling that story for years.
Yeah, they will. In about 5 years, that thing's going to be a laser beam, and that guy was hanging over his seat, and he made a one-handed catch.
Climbed over 7 rows of people, stepping on people's heads.
Right.
Landed in a lady's lap from Auburn, Alabama.
It didn't rain very hard here last night at the end of the game. That was amazing.
As hard and as long as I've ever seen it rain here.
And the lightning was no joke, the thunder as well. Prado down on strikes, and Martin knew it. So 2 away, and Chipper Jones to the plate.
Clayton Richards' last start was a good one. 6 innings, 5 hits, shutout ball against the Cardinals. Cardinals had roughed him up to start before that. But just prior to the trade, he was lights out. 8 innings, gave up 1 run against Tampa Bay. 8 innings, 1 run against Detroit. No wonder the Padres wanted him.
And Chipper climbs in. Chipper hitting .278, 15 homers, 55 knocked in. It's been a while since he's been down around this mark.
3 years. This time last year, he was hitting .356 on his way to a batting title.
Off the plate. And Cabrera picks it up, not in time. Chipper's aboard. So I get some help right there. He'll take it. Last night he hit a ground ball to the right side that Adrian Gonzalez made a gorgeous play on. This time, though, off the plate, and he buys himself a single.
Well, you and I were both talking to him at the same time today, and he said, you know, I'm this close, and held his thumb and index finger very close together. And he said, and when it breaks, it's going to break. Somebody's going to pay.
That hit right there, what's funny about it is that Matt Diaz told me about a conversation they were having after the game last night. That play Gonzalez made, Matt said to him, you know, that ball is going to get through again at some point. And he said Chipper's response was, I don't know, man.
It's like that guy I played with in Seattle who told me he thought he was out of hits.
That is roped left field. Headley drifts back. He's got it. And that's the inning. Who said that?
That was Danny Meyer, who said, you know, I think everybody gets an allotment of hits, and I've used mine up.
They're brought to you in part by your local Ford dealers, by Wendy's, by Texaco, by the Georgia Lottery, and by AirTran Airways. Back here at Turner Field, a soggy night. Got started a little late, and we're underway as we go to the second. Javier Vasquez facing Will Venable. Talked about this guy and going to Princeton, 7th round pick in 2005. Said basketball has always been his first love. Had a chance to go play in Europe.
He was a 1,000-point scorer at Princeton. Must have been a lot of backdoor cuts.
Now, was there ever a point where baseball wasn't your favorite sport?
Yes. Yes, in high school. I love basketball. I mean, it was 1A and 1B, but here was the thing. I much preferred basketball practice to baseball practice. And I think you ask any baseball player, they might agree, because standing around while everybody else is hitting and shagging can get a little long. Got to mix in some other stuff.
The 1-2. Venable's dad, Max, is a hitting instructor in the Padres organization. In fact, he was a coach on the team Will played for in 06. Climbed the ladder, struck him out. Good work there by Vasquez. First strikeout of the night, and there is one away. Folks, Sunday, September 6th, the Braves will host their third Bark in the Park event of the season. Bring your best friend to the game for one of the Braves' most popular promotions of the season, Bark in the Park. For tickets, visit Braves.com/bark.
That'll be against the Cincinnati Reds.
There's a strike to Kevin Kuzminoff. Hit a 2-run homer last night in the 6th, but is still just 3 for his last 27. Vasquez back to work. And a bouncer out to short. Escobar handles it. 2 up and 2 down. No score early on here at Turner Field. And Javier Vasquez will face the catcher, Nick Hundley.
Javi looks like he's got good command tonight. Off to a good start, getting ahead in the count.
Good pitch right there. That clipped the corner. 0-2. Nick Hundley, who went to the University of Arizona. And a guy who was a big-time prospect coming out of high school, but elected to go to college. Off the end of the bat, Escobar gobbles it up, unloads, and Vasquez gets him quickly and quietly. 1-2-3. We're midway in the second. There's no score in Atlanta. Face Clayton Richard here in the last of the second. All season long, Atlanta Braves baseball on Sports South, being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Folks, join us again on Sports South tomorrow night. The Braves open up a crucial 3-game set with the Phillies in Philadelphia. Braves Live will get it going at 6:30. The game at 7. The Braves on Sports South. This is our team. It'll be Escobar, then Anderson, and then LaRoche against Richard. Joe, one thing you notice right away with this guy, he works quickly.
I think that comes from Chicago. Those guys all seem to be in a hurry too. Mark Burley, when he's firing that perfect game, he would get it back and didn't waste any time throwing another pitch.
Well, there is no one faster than Mark Burley. I mean, he is as quick as it gets. Towards the hole and through, a base hit. Second hit of the night for the Braves. Leadoff man aboard in the second.
Oddly enough, among the guys who have the lowest batting average against left-handed pitchers rather, Unell is among those. Brian McCann at 214 is the lowest, and then Escobar at 240 among guys who are playing regularly. Bit of a surprise.
Garrett Anderson at the plate. 288 against lefties, 284 against righties. Now, the one thing to focus on, though, Garrett on the season with 32 extra base hits, only 7 against left-handers. So he'll hit some singles against lefties. Doesn't quite have the same pop that he does against the right-handers.
That was a tricky move there. A little bit of a pause in that leg kick from Richard.
Talked to Garrett about facing Joe Thatcher and just sort of going through what it's like against him. Stepping in one direction, the arm slot coming out, odd spin on the fastball, he said.
As you're looking at the pitcher, it's a right to left delivery. It's not straight. It's not coming at you straight.
Yeah, it's herky-jerky, it's violent. And Thatcher's been good. Base hit right field. So Escobar will stop at second. And a couple of hits to start inning number 2.
There's your single. You know, I don't have a problem with that. If a guy's doing damage against the right-handers and hitting .288 against lefties, I'm A-OK with that, because singles will drive in a lot of runs too.
For sure. Especially where he's hitting in the order. You got a pretty good idea that Prado, Jones, McCann, Escobar are going to be on a lot.
Yep.
Adam LaRoche, 22 games with the Braves, and he has been so hot. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. He is 4th in the NL with a .385 average. 7 homers, 17 knocked in to go along with it this month, and Matt Diaz right on his heels.
Adam almost set a moving pick there as Hundley was trying to pick that ground ball up. Fortunately, it was foul.
Was it the '75 World Series that had the famous play with the
Ed Armbrister?
Yeah.
And Carlton Fisk getting locked up on a bunt. Red Sox argued that Armbrister interfered with Carlton Fisk's ability to field the bunt. And I don't remember the. No, it wasn't Tom. It wasn't Bill Gorman. The umpire disagreed with Darryl Johnson, the umpire, or the manager.
LaRoche down on strike. Second strikeout of the night for Clayton Richard. 1 away.
There's a good pitch. That is a dead-on pitcher's pitch at the knees on the outside corner. It's not even where Hundley wanted it. He was actually looking for it off the plate. Richard played quarterback at Michigan, right?
Yeah, he did. He was Chad Henne's backup. Chad Henne is with the Dolphins now. He was one of those guys that went to college, had signed a professional baseball contract, but was playing quarterback.
I thought Chad Henne was a magician.
That's Doug Henning.
Oh.
So he got in 4 games, 8 for 15. And there's a shot of the left. I mean, that's a big guy playing QB, 6'5", 240. Love those helmets, man.
Maize and blue.
He's from Lafayette, Indiana, White Sox 8th round pick in 2005. see a little bit of rain is falling right now.
It's all around us, I know that. Three and one count here. Would you dare send the runners with the pitcher on deck? See if you create maybe open up a hole. Or 3-1, you want Infante hacking away. No, ball four.
So the bases will be loaded for the pitcher.
Again, his last two starts, one not very good against the Cardinals, 3 2/3 innings. He walked 6 and got no decision as his teammates took him off the hook. And then on the 21st, he beat the Cardinals and went 6 shutout innings, but walked 3 that day. So 9 walks in his last 9 2/3 coming in. Hence the walk per inning pitched.
Hobby takes outside. I said that Clayton Richard had signed to play pro baseball before he got to Michigan. That's not the case. He was drafted out of Michigan. We showed it on the graphic, but he played both sports as a Wolverine and then concentrated just on baseball.
He's a big old barrel-chested guy, as you said. 6'5", 240, good size to say the least.
Two and one now. And overall, 31 appearances, 19 starts. But it was really the trade of Javier Vasquez that opened up a spot for him to get a chance to start this year with the White Sox.
4-3 with a 4.6 ERA for Chicago.
Right side, it gets through a base hit. Escobar in, and it gets past Venable. Anderson will come in to score, stopping at third, Infante, and it's 2-0. It feels like it's been a while since a break like that has gone the Braves' way.
Couldn't agree more. When Venable threw the ball in after the base hit by Anderson, it came out of his hand very funny, very high, and then he started wiping his hand off, as if to say the ball was soaking wet. This one, you can't blame the turf. He just didn't get the glove down, and then it hit him in the foot. A break there, maybe the Braves can turn it into a huge opportunity.
2-0 Braves, E9. Second error of the year on Will. Diaz rips that into left center field. That's a base hit. Vasquez being sent, he stumbled, and he's going to go back to third. He may have missed the bag.
He did. He just said that. And smart to go back. He stumbled when he got to third base, and I actually thought he stumbled on the corner of the base. Right there. But when you miss it, especially in this case, you'd like to keep going and hope that nobody noticed, but with only one out, an embarrassing situation, but go back. He's showing Brian Snitker where he stepped and where he landed.
So Mac Diaz with the big hit. How about these numbers for Mac Diaz? Check out the company against left-handed pitching. Diaz, since 2006, top average against left-handed pitching. Pujols, Sanchez, Jeter, Wright, and Diaz.
How about that? Good company, to be sure.
And he's got a hit and a ribby, so the caveman delivers. Do you remember the cartoon Captain Caveman?
I do not.
Okay.
Is that where this is coming from?
I don't know, really.
I just know that he knows that when you're going good like this, you don't even think about it. You don't even want to talk about it. You just feel so good at the plate. Just do it.
Just swing, yeah. Center field, Gwynn is there. He's got it. Tagging and scoring from third is Vasquez, and the Braves lead it 4-0.
$40 RBIs for Diaz on his base hit. And that sacrifice fly now 38 RBIs for Prado. Not bad for two guys who had virtually no regular playing time the first half of the season, other than maybe some platoon work.
So now Chipper. Chipper pounded one off the plate, got an infield single his last time. He's 1 for 32 coming into tonight.
That's right. If you just joined us, he's 1 for 1 and on the road back.
Hit hard and a base hit up the middle. And Chipper's 2 for 2. Eckstein had him shaded that way. Chipper just hit it too hard.
He was slow reacting, as if he didn't see the ball come by the mound. Chipper stayed on this ball good, down and through it. Oh, I bet he got screened a little bit by the umpire too. Jeff Kellogg out there has to find a spot that he tries to get out of everybody's way, but sometimes that's hard.
Kellogg out there at second with that inside position. 2 on, 2 outs for McCann, who lined to left his first time. 9th man to bat in the inning.
Brian McCann came into this game hitting .291. If you look back at last year, a year ago today, .294. 1 more RBI. I'd say that's pretty consistent. The slugging and on-base percentage almost identical.
Towards left center field. It'll fall for a hit. Diaz in to score. And Brian McCann, an RBI single. It's 5-0.
Add on, get some more. And against a lefty who's only giving up an average of .216 against him by left-handed hitters, McCann puts a good swing on this one and has his 72nd RBI.
Well, it started with an Escobar single. And there's strike one. Clayton Richard coming in combined AL/NL had walked 55 at 116 innings of work. That one laced to second for the final out. But the Braves did the job swinging the bats, knocking him all over the field. Braves come up with 5 runs on 6 hits. 1-0. Braves leading this one. The VCast music with Rhapsody. Know your music getting from Verizon Wireless. What Braves player enjoys listening to Lil Wayne on his wireless phone? Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne.
Isn't Lil Wayne from Atlanta?
I wish I could tell you.
I may have that one wrong, but it just occurred to me.
Win Richard Cabrera against Javier Vasquez, who's set down 6 in a row after giving up a leadoff single to Everett Cabrera to start the game. Pretty good pitch right there, just missed 2-1. The other way and a base hit. Gwynn aboard to start the third.
He did the same thing Cabrera did, just took what looked like a pitch on the inside third and took an inside out swing, shot it to left. Lil Wayne, I'm being told, grew up in New Orleans, not Atlanta. Actually, that ball was out away from Tony. Good piece of hitting. His 4th hit of the series.
How'd that bunt off Brian's shin guard?
Modern technology is a wonderful thing, but there's some things just haven't been able to really improve on.
It's tough because the goal is to keep making it lighter and more protective.
And more flexible.
Right.
So that it doesn't hinder the catcher when he's trying to bounce out and get a bunt, make a play, or squat down.
Still bunting, the 0-2, and he got him. That foul tipped into the mid of McCann.
Hasn't had a sacrifice bunt since he came to the Padres, and you can understand why. He'd been in the American League.
Folks, introducing SEC Gridiron Live, a brand new show premiering Wednesday, September 2nd on Fox Sports South. It's hosted by former Vol Charles Davis, along with Georgia great David Pollock, 3-time Super Bowl champ Randy Cross, who joined us last night, and newcomer Cassidy Hubbard, your voice for the fans. 1 hour every Wednesday. It's all SEC. SEC Gridiron Live. It premieres next Wednesday on Fox Sports South.
Yeah, it was nice to visit with Randy. I know those guys are all excited about that. And so are fans across the Southeast.
I mean, year in and year out, the best conference in college football.
It's going to be competitive again. I know everybody's talking about how it's Florida and everybody else, but everybody else is not too shabby either.
How about your Sooners?
Yeah, some of us in the Big 12 might take a little exception to that last comment, but we are going to field a team and we will play the schedule. We're not playing cupcakes compared to some of the Southeastern Conference schools. We do have Brigham Young and we do have Miami, among others, on the schedule.
Miami, though, in recent years, really, last year Larry Coker and on to Randy Shannon. Well, not a cupcake, but maybe
they were down.
Like a dessert mint or something.
They were down, but they had a real good recruiting year. That's what everybody keeps saying. That they are on the way back, they'll be a lot better than they were last year.
3-2 to Everett Cabrera.
Southeastern Conference, so always competitive, regardless of which division you're in. It's always a tough game when you get in conference.
Here's a 3-2. Cabrera staying alive. What do you think the best venue is for a game in the SEC? I haven't seen a football game at any of the SEC stadiums. LSU seems cool, the Swamp seems cool, and Georgia. That would be the other one. I guess the one other place that I've heard is Ole Miss. Those four.
You got to go to a game at Auburn.
Really?
You got to go to a game at Auburn.
Okay. Right side, and it rolls through. Gwynn around second, but he'll stop. And Diaz gets it in.
Playing it safe. Diaz was going to give him third base, but he, down by 5, elected to stay at second base. No, I mean, when the tailgaters start showing up on Wednesday.
Right.
And that place is packed. It's just a great atmosphere and terrific pomp and ceremony before the game, leading into kickoff. It's something to see.
2 on with 1 out, and Eckstein at the plate.
I was just handed a note that 110,000 people at a Tennessee game might disagree.
Right.
So the bottom line is there's several good places.
Well, when I was in college, I mean, you talk about Goosebump City. There was nothing quite like a Boston College Temple matchup in Chestnut Hill. I mean,
just make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
I tell you. Electric. Just electric.
Now, how many people would be there?
It'd be pretty much filled.
Good crowd. I mean, okay.
Fisted right side on a bounce. LaRoche will get one, and that's all.
Tony Gwynn hurt himself when he got to third. I don't know if he rolled his ankle when he hit the bag or not. Good play by Adam because it was really the only play he had. Tony Gwynn's waving off the trainer, but I think when he got to third base, he may have looked up to see what was going on with the play and hit the bag funny. Looked up and rolled it. But he looks like he's all right. So again, packed house, and that would mean how many?
Well, they added on, so now I think it holds 48.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me 26. Okay, good.
But I mean, most of the real good competitive festivities were taking place outside the stadium.
I'm sure.
Say. A lot of good, fine, competitive Irishmen. That's all I would say. Once it hit your lips, you know,
just tastes so good.
Adrian Gonzalez 0 for 1.
And again, Javi doing a good job of getting ahead in the count. Being aggressive there, even in this first and third situation with their best hitter.
Well, getting ahead's been a key for him. He is second in the majors in first pitch strikes to Roy Halladay.
I like what he's doing here with Gonzalez. I like what I saw early last night from Kawakami against him, busting him up and in on I think it was a 3-1, 3-0 count. He went up and in, and Gonzalez didn't like it in there, and he couldn't get around on it, and Vasquez just did the same thing and tied him up. He likes the ball away from him.
changeup off the end of the bat, Escobar. And he throws him out, and Vasquez pitches his way out of trouble. Midway in the third from Turner Field, and the Braves enjoying a 5-0 lead. And Garrett Anderson has started off. It'll be Clayton Richard against the left-handed hitter. And delivers on the inside corner for strike one. Garrett didn't like the call. A single his first time. And continues to hit the lefties. Gonzalez will take that, and he'll take it himself.
Well,
one up and one down.
Kind of half-stepping over there and then had to turn it up a notch. I have to admit, when I saw Clayton Richard's name, first thing that comes to mind for me and a guy from my era is James Rodney Richard, who was as intimidating and as awesome as anybody that pitched in the game for about a 3 or 4 or 5 year period for the Astros.
I remember watching him.
6'8", long arms, long legs, just dominated. Scary how hard he threw, and just wild on occasion to keep you honest.
How many times did you face him?
I don't think I faced him at all, but I saw him. He was a little older than me, so I saw him pitch when he was coming through the minor leagues in Oklahoma City in a dimly lit ballpark. Oh, there was nobody digging in.
Yeah, looking right here, he had 2 seasons of 300 or more strikeouts.
Wow.
1978, he struck out 303. 1979, 313.
Those weren't real good teams, but they were decent. What were his records those 2 years?
18-11 and 18-13.
He never won 20, I don't think, did he?
He won 20 in 1976.
Oh. The late, great James Rodney Richard.
Ground ball left side. Cabrera knocks it down. He won't have a play. And Adam LaRoche with an infield single.
Hitting streaks being extended tonight. Escobar with his single leading off the second has now hit in 11 straight. LaRoche now in 10 straight. Got the glove on it, but couldn't hang on. I'm told by Laser Baker that I was 0 for 1 against James Rodney Richard with a punch out.
Yeah.
Good changeup. Pretty much a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, curveball, change. But a key part of that deal for Peavy. We saw Russell last night. Great big horse of a guy. He looked good. He was also part of that deal. And I understand that in that rehab assignment that Peavy had at Gwinnett, he got hit in the elbow with a line drive, and that's slowed his return to the White Sox.
What are the White Sox right now? They are 4.5 out. It's 5 in the loss column back in Detroit. Tied with the Twins.
Well, that was something about the standings today, Boog, that struck me when I was looking at who has the biggest lead of any division leader. And I was shocked to see that it belongs to, in Major League Baseball, either league, it belongs to the St. Louis Cardinals, who are now all of a sudden 9 games up on Chicago. Cubs lost again today, but so did St. Louis. Good at bat.
Cubs lost to the Nationals.
St. Louis really made a bold move when they got Matt Holliday from the A's. He caught fire as soon as he joined the team. They gave a little protection for Albert Pujols too in their lineup. And then they pick up John Smoltz, and he pitched brilliantly against these Padres on Sunday when he fired, what was it, 5 shutout innings, struck out 9.
The title of best team in the National League is an interesting one because I think it's changed a good bit over the course of the past month.
Nice.
Good bunt. Richard tries to barehand it. He still had a chance. Still had a chance. But once he didn't pick it up cleanly, he gave up. I really think he should have taken a crack at that, Joe.
At least pick it up and look. This was not what your manager wants to see you do when you don't pick it up on the first try. You got to remember that it's the pitcher running. Javi Vasquez, the most sacrifices in the National League. But watch Richard here. Whiffed on this one and then decided not to even try again. And Javi was only about halfway down the line.
And he was kind of cruising. You know,
yeah.
You hear Bobby say easy, easy, easy.
Sacrifice and an error. Luis Perdomo, right-hander, loosening up for the Pods.
So they're all loaded up
for the hitting fool.
He does it again. Base hit, RBI, and it's 6-0.
There's no such thing as automatic when you hit, but this guy's about as close to Mr. Automatic right now as there is in baseball. Like kind of a slider or cutter he tried to throw down and in. Matt tracks that right to the bat. Look how far he leaned over to go get that ball. And another one right back through the middle. He's 2 for 3, 2 RBIs.
Short evening for Clayton Richard. And that's that. Bud Black going to the bullpen. 6-0 Atlanta.
Driving in his second run of the night, right back through the middle, 2 singles to center. Tracks this one right to the barrel of the bat, down and through. And then after he got to first base, Tim Hudson getting his attention. You're hot. You are hot. $17 for 33, his last 33. That'll work.
Mm-hmm. All loaded up, 1 out, and Prado at the dish. A sac fly his last time up. Luis Perdomo here, 25-year-old from San Cristobal, Dominican Republic. 29th appearance.
Got a good arm, throws hard, also a little wild at times. Martine's got a good bat working, Boog. Check it out. He's got that pine tar right up around the label, so it kind of leaves the barrel of the bat, the white barrel of the bat, exposed. The good hitting area.
He's got a tape too.
A little tape on there.
The other thing I like is he bangs the bat, the pine tar part, on his jersey, so on his right shoulder, he gets that mark there.
It's a little something for Ben and the boys in the clubhouse to work on.
What gets out pine tar? Because you can't tell me you just go tied on it, or
I don't
shout
know.
it out, or
We might have to get Jerome on that. A little behind the scenes thing, you know. I'm sure it's industrial strength, whatever it is.
So Prado 0 for 1, but a chance to just blow this thing open with a knock here. Driven well down the line. That one is foul.
That would have blown it open.
Yes, sir.
Fastball up and in, and he put that nice clean barrel part of the bat on the baseball. It's a little too quick on it.
Infante, Vasquez, Diaz third to first. Oh, got him to chase. That was ball 4. And there are 2 outs.
That was a slider, I think. There was like a hard slider that didn't have, it was backing up. Didn't break, obviously, just rose up and was backing up.
Here's Chipper at the plate, 2 for 2, a couple of singles. And a liner towards left center field. Gwynn diving, and did he make the grab? He did.
Whoa.
Oh, what a catch, Tony Gwynn. A great catch, and he steals extra bases from Chipper.
Saved 3 runs with this one. What a play, fully extended.
Perdomo gets some help.
Pardon me?
Wireless, we asked you earlier which Braves player enjoys listening to Lil Wayne on his wireless phone.
Might be Chipper. Might be little Larry Wayne.
Jair Jurgens. Before the game today between Chinese Taipei and Curacao for the Little League World Series, or in the Little League World Series, they showed the tape of Jurgens calling the team from Curacao, and they were all gathered around the speakerphone listening to JJ. And then when they announced the lineups, all the players say their favorite players, and 3 or 4 of them said that Jurgens was their favorite player.
That's great. Last I heard, they were losing, though.
They were losing, I think, 4-0 to Chinese Taipei.
By the way, for what it's worth, reports of the demise of J.R. Richard were grossly exaggerated by yours truly. I was mistakenly under the impression that he had passed away, and not so. So my apologies.
Sad end to his career, man, with that stroke.
Very.
One and 2 on Headley. Headley, then Venable, then Kuzminov. And it's 6-0 Atlanta.
Plenty of room to work with for Javi tonight.
Got him. Third strikeout of the game, 1 away. You ready for the duck, my friend?
I am.
I feel good about it. Aflac trivia question. It's 2,000. Javier Vasquez, one of 3 players to pitch 2,000 or more innings. Who are the other 2? Since 2000.
Well, Ivan Hernandez is one of those guys that, like Javi's, never been on the disabled list.
Yep.
He kind of came to mind first for me.
Yeah.
Derek Lowe's another one of those guys, but some of his time's been spent in the bullpen.
Yeah. Is that including 2000? That includes 2000.
and both of the other pitchers are active. And though Livan Hernandez was released by the Mets recently, he's been signed by the Nationals. Re-signed.
Venable knew it, 2 away. Hey Baker, time now for a money and energy saving bright idea from Georgia Power. Use a programmable thermostat correctly to save money and energy. Go to GeorgiaPower.com for more energy saving tips. Georgia Power, a Southern company. That's it. You just get the one tip.
It is so still here at the ballpark that when they fire off little fireworks after each strikeout, the smoke that is left is just hanging out over right center field. You see it creeping across the field. No wind at all.
It was about 72 degrees at game time, but still pretty humid. Shallow right field, Diaz. Javi gets him 1-2-3. Braves 6 and the Padres nothing midway in the 4th. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, Braves lead at 6-0. A little rain delay before the start of this one. And the Braves have knocked Clayton Richard, the starter, out of the game. Brian McCann against Luis Perdomo. And ball 1 to B. Mac. Flied out and singled. And now 2-0. Fouled that one off of Hundley.
After that little dry spell that Brian had, he certainly got corrected in a hurry, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Even when he'd get a 1-for-4 with a hard out somewhere, he'd say, you know, I'm still not where I want to be. My swing's still not right. Still working on it. but he looks very comfortable right now. 5 for 11 in this series.
Center field where Tony Gwynn waits. And with one away and the bases clear, it's our Cabot Woodstein legendary performance this date in history. Jake Peavy becomes the Padres all-time leader in strikeouts, passes Andy Benes. Peavy holds the Padres record with 1,348 punch-outs. Yunel Escobar 1 out of 2.
There are a lot of guys that could be answers to the Aflac trivia question along with Livan Hernandez. At least from my guessing standpoint.
That's right. Still going to get this, don't we? Third base, Kuzminov. Nice play. That was a smart idea.
He was ready to barehand it if it bounced right up to him, but when it shot left, he let it go.
Could Andy Pettit?
Andy Pettit's a good choice, and there are other guys like Chris Carpenter, but a lot of guys that have been pitching that long, but have been injured, so they've lost a lot of time. I like the Andy Pettit.
That's somebody like Jeff Suppan. Is that a no?
Well, I'm contemplating. I'm thinking Barry Zito. All those innings he pitched for Oakland.
Barry Zito's a good guess. That was ripped. I like your Barry Zito guess.
Yeah.
I go Zito, Livan Hernandez.
Okay. Me too.
Okay. Aflac trivia question. 2,000. Javi Vasquez, one of 3 players to pitch 2,000 or more innings. The other 2 are
Andy Pettit, Livan Hernandez.
Oh. Gosh.
Just talked about him.
Yeah, we did.
I think we were pretty solid on Livan.
Yeah, I agree. Mark Burley probably went over the 2,000 inning mark like yesterday or something.
Tell you, the old Pirates have given Philly all they can handle in that 3-game series at Pittsburgh.
Two-one now. And the bottom of the 6th, the Phillies with the lead.
It's been a low-scoring, tightly played 3-game series.
Tommy Hanson, Pedro Martinez tomorrow night. Dodge Braves Live, 6:30. Gonzalez scoops that up. Perdomo over to first, and the throw gets past him.
Easy feed here for Cabrera, but his throw was flat-footed. He didn't step toward first base, and it pulled his throw quite a bit wide of the bag, as you see, but no error charge because Garrett Anderson can't assume a double play, and he didn't advance.
And it hit that screen guarding the dugout.
Think how much that saved.
I was just about to ask you. You know that the amount of data that they have nowadays, there is no question that you could run a study. How many errors are saved every year because there are screens up in front of the dugout?
Only there is a safety precaution, and a good one. Keep guys from getting smoked by line drives, foul. But boy, the infielders love it.
Off the glove of Hundley, Anderson down to second. That one hit the dirt first, so a wild pitch. And with 2 outs, a man in scoring position.
Slider right down at the shoe tops of Adam LaRoche, who had to tap dance out of the way. And the wildness again from Perdomo draws Hundley out to try to calm him down.
Ball 4. And again, Infante will hit with people on base.
Add on, get some more. There's no 15-yard penalty for piling on in baseball.
The other way, base hit. Venable picks it up. Anderson coming to the plate. He's safe. And it's 7-0. I like that. Make a play.
Absolutely, especially on wet grass. And another rainbow throw from Venable. Ball came out of his hand a little funny. Diaz is 2 for 3. Prado has an RBI on a sacrifice fly, and Infante 2 walks and a single. Those are your top 3 hitters beginning the night against left-handed pitching, and now it's Infante doing damage against a right-hander. He has his first RBI of the night.
That one inside and off the glove of Hundley. And down to second goes Omar Infante. LaRoche didn't try it.
Second wild pitch of the inning. Perdomo had 3 coming in 50 innings.
Hobby down on strikes, but the Braves pick up another run. We'll go to the 5th, 7-zip. Vasquez 4 shutout innings. Clayton Richard done after 2 1/3. The hitting fool Matt Diaz, Captain Caveman, is 17 for 33, and Chipper's 2 for 3.
Yeah, Chipper's broken out of it. Could easily have had a 3-run double in the 3rd inning were it not for a great catch by Tony Gwynn. But the 2nd inning was when the Braves did their damage. They had 6 hits in the inning to score 5 runs. There was also an error in the inning that helped out. Braves sent 10 men to the plate, and that set the tone for the night. They now lead 7-0. Chipper's 2 for 3, snapping out of his 1 for 32.
In the out. Oh, brother.
Great catch by Gwynn.
Hundley the other way for a base hit. He's 1 for 2, and the leadoff man aboard. 7-0, Braves lead it. Tony with that great catch.
There it is, laying out, 2 out, bases loaded. Runners were running on the crack of the bat, and he saved 3.
Off speed there, 1-1. Kyle Blanks in the on-deck circle, so the big fella going to get a chance to hit. Been bothered by the plantar fasciitis, so he has not been starting. First base, LaRoche will go to first, and there's 1 out.
That'll bring up the big guy, Kyle Blanks, who, believe it or not, this 280-pounder had an inside the park home run this month. Check it out. And look at this carom off the wall. And the big guy can move. Didn't need to slide, but he did.
He can play left, right, and first. He's hitting just .247, but the on-base .353 and slugging just under .500. So not a great average, but takes his walks. And he has serious pop.
There's some real strong possibilities here for this guy. I mean, as he gets more and more at bats. 6'6", 285.
If they ever did move that guy, Adrian Gonzalez, have to figure Blank should be the guy they'd plug in at first.
Played junior college baseball at a good program in Arizona, Yavapai Junior College.
Pulled off that, 2-2.
He wears number 8, and that 8 looks awfully small on his back.
Coming into this year, he's considered their #1 prospect. It's funny because they drafted him in the 42nd round at 04, the same year that they had the first pick in the draft, and they went with the shortstop Matt Bush. Javi just blew him away right there with the heater, and there's 2 down.
.92 fastball after a couple of curveballs, off-speed curveballs. It set it up.
Top of the order, and Everett Cabrera is 2 for 2. Prado right side gobbles it up, and that's the inning. Javi does good work pitching around the leadoff single. We're midway in the 5th, and it's all Braves here tonight.
And fans, get your Braves postseason tickets today. You can secure the first right of refusal for the best seats in the house for all possible Braves 2009 postseason games by purchasing one of 3 ticket plans starting as low as $11 per game. You can find out all about it by visiting www.braves.com/playoffs. Braves entered play today 8 games back of Philadelphia after their loss last night. And in the wild card, the Braves 5.5 back, 5 on the loss side, and have picked up a half game already on Colorado today after they lost to the Dodgers.
Edward Mojica will take over on the hill. We talked about it though, pregame show, kind of at a point where it's, you just got to win. You can't even worry about getting bummed out by how hot the Rockies are, any of that stuff, right?
No, or their schedule that's upcoming. Rockies they're leaving town to go play in San Francisco for 3, but then after that they have a very soft schedule for about 2 weeks. They've got the Mets, the Padres, the Reds, Padres again, something like that maybe, and Arizona.
To the right side, Eckstein throws out Diaz.
That's news.
So 1 out, Prado up here. Martin 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Braves leading it 7-zip. Phillies leading the Pirates 2-1 in the top of the 8th. Be interested to get a look at Cliff Lee up close and in person.
About time for somebody to hang an L on him.
Philly's got to be happy Cole Hamels pitched well last night.
That's one of the things about, you started to talk earlier about who the best team in the National League might be. It's not the team that has the most wins. That's the Dodgers. They won today. They now have 76 wins, but they're not playing the best baseball. Cardinals had their 4-game winning streak snapped today. They have 74 wins, but I don't know how you can vote against the Phillies, despite the fact that Hamels has not been at his best. Myers has been on the disabled list. Brad Lidge can't get anybody out in the 9th inning.
They tried to stir it up a little bit. I don't know whether it was today or yesterday in the Philadelphia papers, because Myers is coming back from hip surgery. And, of course, they asked the question, so when you come back, you thinking about maybe taking Brad Lidge's job at closer? And he backpedaled away from that as fast as humanly possible.
Good for him.
Hit hard and past Eckstein. 1 out and a man aboard here in the bottom of the 5th. Braves leading at 7-zip. And join us again on Sports South tomorrow night. Charlie Manuel, Ryan Howard, and the fellas. It's a crucial 3-game series. Braves Live will start at 6:30. The game at 7. It's the Braves on Sports South. This is our team.
As you look at these numbers, especially the fact that they lead the National League in runs, homers, and slugging percentage, they have 6 of the top 19 hitters in the National League in extra base hits. 6 of 19 in their lineup. Howard, Ibanez, Rollins, Worth, Utley, and Victorino.
Airtran pitching matchups: Hansen and Martinez, Lowe and Lee, Jurgens and Blanton.
Now, Joe Blanton had a little hissy fit the other night in Pittsburgh. Did they throw him out of that game? He was barking at an umpire when he came out, and then looked like he was trying to throw something toward the field, but I think it hit the railing. He was in the dugout. Unusual for him to have such a reaction.
I know he's so even. I saw it, and I can't remember whether they tossed him or not. Two and 1 to Chipper.
Well, Higo was tough here the other night. He came in and got the save in the 12th inning. Got the Braves 3 up and 3 down.
The 2-2 outside.
Good fastball. Had some late movement on it. 93.
Three-two now.
Good cut. His 2 hits tonight came against the lefty, batting right-handed, and then the line drive that was caught by Tony Gwynn was left-handed, and mad at himself for missing that one. And as we quoted him last night, saying he's been missing all the mistakes.
Good eye and ball 4, 2 aboard for Brian McCann. Back with his 72nd RBI in the second. All Braves here tonight, leading 7-0.
Good tailing fastball again. Good pitch. Brian looked like he was looking for something middle of the plate to win and didn't. Middle of the plate in and didn't want to run out there and try to go around something. Oh, there it was. Had enough on the fastball though to tie him up. Padres are definitely playing him to pull with Cabrera almost behind the bag at second. You see Eckstein moved over to his left.
Two on with one out. Let's see what they give McCann here. He got a pretty good pitch to hit and just lifted it a mile in the air. And Gonzalez there waiting, 2 down.
That one was coming back to the plate, not where they wanted it. As you can see, Hundley trying to cross over to get it. And Brian looking up almost in disbelief that he got under that one.
Two down. It's Unell at the plate, and he's 2 out of 3. He is singled twice, and he's lined to second. The average up to 304. Tonight, our first look at Clayton Richard was, I would say, at least in part, wild in the strike zone, just too much of the plate with a lot of his fastballs.
That's a good description. And the guys weren't missing any of those mistakes he made.
But we saw 94 from him a couple of times.
He's going to be a good pickup. He's a good acquisition in the deal. Everybody needs a good, solid left-hander, and he is that, but not tonight.
Man, that was scalded, but Gonzalez, those soft hands, the Gold Glover handles the chance, and the Braves lead 2. By Verizon Wireless, by McDonald's, by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Blimpie, and by Dodge. John Shambi, Joe Simpson. As we go to the 6th, Javier Vasquez has not allowed a run. He's given up 4 hits. And he is waiting for the Home Depot tools to go through the center field wall. Who won the race, Joe?
Hank. The hammer.
Eckstein at the plate. And a good slider for strike 1. the end of the bat, and now it's 0-2. Got him to chase that, a strikeout, number 6. So with the one away, Adrian Gonzalez will come to the plate, and it is time now for our Geico quote of the game. And Adrian Gonzalez, I don't disagree with people who say the best thing for the Padres is to get a bunch of people for me. From an ownership standpoint, I think there's a lot to it because of where the team is. Would I want to be traded? No. Is it a team that can win the World Series? I'd be intrigued by it. So he's aware of all the stuff that's swirling out there.
I can't imagine he'd clear waivers. As attractive as a player, as attractive of a player as he is, his contract is even more attractive. He is a very affordable guy for what he provides.
LaRoche over to Hobby. And there's 2 down. I'm looking for that contract.
But if you're the Dodgers and you see the Giants maybe trying to pick him up or something like that, they'd have to block it. Well, I guess they couldn't because they're low man on the totem pole. They couldn't block that.
But I mean, even they could do it this offseason.
Yeah.
And he's due $4.75 million next year. And in 11, he's due $5.5 million. I mean, that's an amazing contract.
That's one of the least expensive, top-notch hitters in baseball. And has a Gold Glove.
Yeah, so we'll see if they investigate doing that.
Well, you and I talked at the start of this series about how last year the Padres' numbers and rankings offensively were almost a mirror image of this year. They've got to improve their offense. So with his affordability and his hitting ability, why would you trade him?
LaRoche grabs that out of the air, and Vasquez gets him 1-2-3 with a little help from his first baseman. We're midway in the 6th. 7-zip.
Train and bases loaded, 2 out, drive to the gap. Tony Gwynn Jr. Are you kidding me? He robs Chipper Jones of what would have been a certain double at least, and 3 RBIs, but fully extended. He makes the catch and ends the inning. What a play. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
One of the best grabs we've seen this year. Garrett Anderson taking ball 1 from Edward Mojica. Look at that.
A reminder for him about where to play Garrett Anderson.
Popped up left side. And Cabrera. I love that.
I've never seen that before.
No. The only thing I've seen remotely like that, Todd Jones used to have a scouting report on hitters that he kept in his back pocket. He'd go to the backside of the mound and look at it. I've seen that. Never a defensive player, though. Ever, right?
No,
ever?
I've never seen a guy pull something laminated like that out of his pocket to remind him where to play lefty versus righty.
Drilled right field towards the bullpen, into the bullpen, gone. Rochi's done it again, his 8th with the Braves at number 21 on the season. 8-0.
Absolutely phenomenal what he's done since he's joined the ball club. First pitch. And again, check out Hundley. It's like the second or third time he did that on McCann's ball that was popped up. Wanted the ball down and away. Had to reach across because the ball stayed on the inner third, and that one landed in the bullpen. Crushed.
8 home runs now in 23 games for Adam.
Anytime the catcher's glove has to go from here up here to catch one,
right,
that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
It's not where he wanted it.
It's a sweet swing.
I was talking to Brian Snitker about it around the cage, and how I said to Brian, I said, how much fun do you think it is to have to swing so easy like he does and hit it so far? And Brian and I both agreed that we would not know what that was like.
Mojica wants a new ball and throws it over the head of Hundley. Omar Infante, 2 walks and an RBI single, getting to start in center field. Nate McLouth tomorrow will go to Mississippi. He'll play Friday and Saturday at AA, and possibly Sunday, but there's a decent chance, I'd say, that he'll use Sunday as a travel day, meet the team in Miami.
And as you said last night, he can't wait.
Did some more running today, said it felt good. The hamstring is fine, he said. Oh, 3-2.
I don't know if Omar lost track of the count or if he thought that might be strike 3. He was already leaning one way or the other.
Okay, you got me. No, or not.
He was expecting it. It's a good night for the Braves offense. Big second inning. It's also been a good night for Javi Vasquez. to bounce back after 2 straight losses and some long balls costing him a lot of runs to just put the clamps on the Padres.
That is roped into left center field. Headley cuts it off on a bounce.
This is a serious top hand swing here, Boog. Boy, and boy, did the ball jump off his bat. Loved that swing. But look how the top hand came through. Just beautiful. Watch how he takes the knob of the bat to the baseball. Hand stayed inside the baseball.
So Omar's second hit of the game. He's been on base 4 times, and the pitcher's up.
Watch again. Watch the knob of the bat here and how it goes to the baseball. He keeps his hands inside the ball right there, and then the barrel of the bat comes flying through. Great leverage.
Nice grab by a fan on a redirect off the press box level. Just delighted with himself, high stepping in the row down below.
Doing his happy dance.
Yep.
He'll go home and tell all of his family he got a foul ball from Javi Vasquez.
That's right. Braves on top 8-0, bottom 6. And the foul tip held on to by Hundley, 2 away. Folks, go to Braves.com/win and register for your chance to meet Chipper Jones, Brian McCann, or other great prizes like a trip to Braves spring training, Braves merchandise, and more. Visit Braves.com/win today.
Well, it's kind of funny tonight. They had Chipper Jones autograph hat night sponsored by Napa. Gave away hats to everybody, and a couple of lucky kids got a pregame batting lesson from Chipper Jones that today unfortunately had to be in the cage under the stadium because of the tarp being on the field. But when he was telling me that story, he had this sheepish grin on his face. Chipper, like, yeah, I know. Like, you know, I'm not going so good. Maybe I'm not the guy to be giving this hitting lesson. But what a thrill for those kids on Chipper Jones autograph cap night.
I'm not sure if it was the same family. I know Brian McCann went out to meet some folks before the game out in the lobby, and a group of kids, and I mean, Mac just could not have been nicer. And the one thing that was funny was that the youngest of the group, Brian was speaking to the different kids, but the youngest of the group was sitting on the couch, and Brian said hello and then was talking to everybody else, and Brian went to go back in the clubhouse, and he said to the little kid, he's like, "Hey, I'm leaving." The kid was just sort of like, "Yeah," he's like, "I'm leaving." It was just great. It was great. I mean, he was just locked in, totally engaged with all the kids. It was neat to see.
It's good stuff.
Diaz chases upstairs, a strikeout, and that's that. But Adam LaRoche all over one. Bang, zoom. 8-0.
Shutout working, and here's another star pitching performance sequence brought to you by Texaco. Javi tonight has been good from the first inning on. He's fanned 6. Had a good fastball tonight. 92, 93 most of the night, including that one right, 5 blanks. He was pinch hitting, no walks, 6 strikeouts, great outing.
Will Venable up here. Braves a couple of changes defensively. Omar Infante from center to left. Garrett Anderson out of the game. And Reed Gurecki will take over in center. Two 2-0 on Venable, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Venable has a bit of an interesting stance. I'm guessing in an effort to try to make it a real short swing. He's got his hands very close to his body and the bat almost laid across his shoulder. That elbow really tucked in.
Long run, Infante, foul ground, look out, nice grab.
That's a Wendy's way better play nominee. In fact, it's the winner. Checked out the ball boy to see where he was, had plenty of room, but made sure he didn't run into the wall by sliding.
And watch the one fan that gives the safe sign.
Wendy's way better play.
That was a good grab. Tough play as you're getting close to that wall. Kuzminov now. And the breaking ball, fair ball heading towards the left field corner. And a 1-out double.
Pretty much played this whole game in a misty rain, haven't we?
Play misty for me.
That too.
One of the things that does happen on TV is that at times it does look like it's raining harder than it really is. Up the middle, Unell to his left. Field spins, throws, got him. Nice play.
He's doing his part here to try to preserve the shutout for Vasquez. Had to really put a little something hot on that throw. And made a good throw. Those hurt when you're first baseman on those low ones that are just off the top of the ground. You got to make sure you catch it in the pocket. Sometimes you catch it right in the palm, because if you think you just catch it out in the web, you might miss it because it's so low. That one stung, I'm sure.
Right center field, Diaz, Gurecki, it'll be Matt. And Javier Vasquez on 7 pitches gets the Padres in the 7th. All Braves tonight. here at Turner Field. All Braves tonight, 8 runs on 14 hits. Tossing some T-shirts out, having a good old time. Hey, how about the Phillies? Jay Happ loses, and the Pirates edge the Phils 3-2. Colorado lost to the Dodgers. And the Marlins lost to the Mets, so this has a chance to be overall a perfect day.
A couple of those games back they lost last night. One of those situations where they needed the veterans to step up, and they have, especially Javi Vasquez with his 5-hit shutout working.
Ryan Webb now on for the 13th time. So Webb takes over for Edward Mujica, who threw a couple of innings and allowed the solo homer to Adam LaRoche. Adrian Gonzalez out of the game as well. And Oscar Salazar will take over. Luis Rodriguez is the new second baseman, so Eckstein is done. And Tony Gwynn out of the game, Drew Macias.
Gwynn's ankle may have started to bark a little bit after he rolled it at third base in the first inning. Was that the first inning? Beg your pardon, third. Made that great play out in center field, but right here, he looked to see what was going on the left side of the diamond, looked away from the bag, and then hit the base fight. Turned his ankle a little.
Flared down the right side, long run over there, and Venable makes the grab. Nice catch.
That's a nice play. He went a long way for that ball too. Nice catch.
One down now, and here's Chipper. He's had a good night at the plate. 2 hits and a walk, and had a double stolen from him on a brilliant catch by Tony Gwynn. Ball 1. They got their caps, they got their ice cream, and they got the Braves leading 8-0 in the bottom of the 7th. The Chipper at the plate. Tommy Hanson, Pedro Martinez tomorrow night, right here on Sports South.
I'm anxious to see Pedro. I think he's been very fortunate first couple of starts to get a ton of runs to work with. See how sharp he really is.
Three and one now. Tommy Hanson will get the call. Tommy's done very good work this year.
Pirates kind of did to the Phillies what the Padres have done to Atlanta.
And the Nationals have done to the Cubs. Ball 4. Good eye by Chipper. A 1-out base runner will bring up Ryan McCann.
Kelly Johnson's going to come run for Chipper.
time called. Ball 1 to Mack.
Hundley's had to work pretty hard behind their plate tonight, moving around with some wildness. Chris Medlin looks like he'll come on and work the 8th inning. He took the loss here in game 1.
Now a 1-1. And again, McCann pushes it foul. Tim Hudson will get the start on Monday. He was scheduled to have his final rehab start tomorrow, but instead he'll skip that and he'll get to business, the real thing, Monday night in Miami.
A couple of contributing factors to that. One, he's ready. And 2, Kawakami's shoulder, still a little bothered, fatigued, if you will. Evident last night. He gets a little time to rest before his next outing.
Driven well left center field. Headley on the move. Out there. He's got it. Brian hit that hard.
Yeah, and he hit it off his front foot, too. He got fooled on that pitch and still almost hit it out of here. Watch how he gets out in front. You can see the pitch was turned over by Webb, so not only did he get out on his front foot, he had to reach for that a little bit and still hit it about 390 feet.
Strike 1 to Unell.
Wow, 95 on that pitch from Webb. They've got some guys that throw hard, and they just had to put Adams on the disabled list. He had 34 strikeouts in 29 innings, and he might have been the most impressive pitcher we saw out in San Diego.
I thought Russell looked like he's got a good arm. Latos in game 1 was sharp.
Hot bat.
Hot, hot, hot.
Wasn't quite that close. But the bat was, it was hot.
Clayton Richard started this one, lasted just 2 1/3 for Bud Black. And the Braves knocked him around. A liner to right, 3rd hit of the game for Yunel Escobar.
The things we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, Boog, about the veterans needing to kind of show the way after these 2 rough losses and needing to win. Well, Chipper was 2 for 3 with 2 walks. Anderson 1 for 4, scored 2 runs. LaRoche 2 for 3 with a walk and a home run. They did their part, certainly. Brian McCann drove in a run with a base hit back in the 2nd inning, and Vasquez looks like his work is done for the night. 7 shutout innings. So tip of the cap to the veterans doing what they needed to do tonight.
First at bat of the game for Reed Gurecki. Came on defensively in the top half of this inning. 2-0 on the center fielder. David Ross getting ready to come into the game. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Kelly Johnson around third. He'll come in to score. Reed Gurecki RBI single. And the Braves lead it 9-0.
Boy, was that a quick swing. He holds his hands close to his body too, but his right elbow is out away from him a little bit. Cocks the bat some and picks up yet another RBI. Very short, quick, compact swing for Reed.
And now Adam gets a chance to hit. LaRoche 2 out of 3. Braves with 16 hits in this game.
If you're Kelly Johnson in this game, you want everybody to keep hitting because you want an at bat. And the way Adams swinging the bat tonight, you might get it. Our Airtran, how far did it fly home run? 404 feet for Adams last time up.
Bam. Yeah, Kelly'd like to get himself an at bat for sure.
Come into pinch run in the 7th. Chances are real good your team's only going to hit one more inning, so it's like, okay, everybody hit. Bat around, get me up there. Got a ways to go.
Wow. Adam not happy with that call from Mark Wegner.
I'll say this for Mark. There haven't been too many guys look back there tonight. Haven't seen pitchers disgusted. That must mean he's done a good job. Braves with 16 hits. The season high is 18.
Got him swinging. That's the inning. Braves tack on another on the Gurecki RBI single. We'll go to the 8th. 9-0. tonight. 7 innings of 5-hit baseball. No walks, 6 strikeouts. Matt Diaz, 2 more hits. Chipper looked good at the plate. 2 hits, a couple of walks, robbed of a double by Tony Gwynn. And Yunel Escobar with 3 hits. And the AT&T call to the bullpen. Not Chipper, the bullpen. Chris Medlin, 26th appearance for the righty.
He suffered the loss here in game 1 of the series. Has been pitching brilliantly. Hundley got him with that leadoff double, and that set the stage.
David Ross, the new catcher. McCann is done for the night. Kelly stays in, takes over at second. And Prado's at third. Check swing and a tapper. Former junior college shortstop fields that one, and there's one away.
Drew Macias, who just made that out, has been up 5 different times with San Diego this year.
How many at bats does he have? It's always tough when you. He's got 34 at bats now.
Doesn't give you much opportunity to show what you can do. They're scattered out like that. We have heard the PA announcer telling us that Javi Vasquez threw 88 pitches tonight, 63 for strikes.
Yeah, he was great.
Whoa!
Nice grab, Med. Chris able to spear that one.
Sometimes it's just good to have your glove in the right place. Quick hands. Get another comebacker here or strike this guy out. It'd be like the king in his court. Don't really need anybody but a
Eddie Feiner, is that his name?
Good one. Catcher and the outfielder and a first baseman.
I had a buddy whose dad played against him.
Yeah.
In a softball league, so it was pretty neat.
Well, I saw him do some exhibitions in the minor leagues where he would pitch blindfolded and between his legs, and it was impressive.
Foul ball. Two and two on Luis Rodriguez. All right, let me ask you this. Assuming a win here tonight, you have to go what in Philadelphia and Florida on this 7-game trip?
No worse than 5-2. You're running out of days.
Good changeup. Medlin to strike out. And Eddie Feiner does the job. The king in Med's court. 9-zip. by the Home Depot, by KFC, and by AT&T. Here at Turner Field, all Braves tonight. Got 5 in the second and lead this one 9-0. 9 runs on 16 hits. And then it goes blurry on you.
I'm glad to hear you say they went blurry on you, too.
You're just taking your glasses off, right?
Uh-huh.
Here's Infante to start it off, and a good night for him. Braves should have Nate McLouth back on Monday in Miami. He'll start in center for Tim Hudson's first start of the year. Cabrera to his right, throws him out. Folks, remember the Braves Clubhouse Collection is your source for authenticated Braves game-used collectible bats, baseballs, line of cards, jerseys, and more. For more info, call the Braves catalog at 800-433-BRAVES or stop by the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Center.
Some good-looking stuff in there, too.
Get a shirt like
Joe Booth. What's cool about that game used stuff, though? You know, you can't find that anywhere else.
No. Maybe get one of your game used pencils.
There's something to be said for that.
Hit right at Cabrera.
Davey.
Ross is out, and there's 2 away. Matt Diaz, 2 more hits tonight, and he talked with Jerome Jurinovich before the game about what nickname he likes best.
You know, Joe Simpson has this new nickname for you, the Hittin' Fool. Which one do you prefer?
I heard John Shambi calls my approach to hitting the caveman approach. I think I like that the most. You know, just go up there with your club and see what happens.
You just whack away, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's hitting, it's not walking. So just go there and swing and see what happens.
He went and
I love it.
took a swing right there, and
Up there with his club, just hacking away. That's great.
see if we get in-game entertainment to play the Captain Caveman screaming as he comes up for the dish.
He has walked 23 times. Struck out once tonight. That gives him 60 for the year.
Hey, there's another. And no matter what you want to say, he's still a hitting fool.
He is, but usually you see him hit one left, right, center, and he's all over the place. Tonight, he has been right on everything in the middle of the plate. And he's hit all 3 base hits to center field. Good balance. I was beginning to worry about him. He'd gone without a hit for 2 at-bats. One more batter and Kelly gets to hit.
So the pressure's on Prado here.
And see, Martine's up there, and he doesn't have any idea how bad Kelly's pulling for him. And he knows that Kelly's rooting for him. But this is just another at bat for Martine tonight. 1 for 4. Drove in a run with that sacrifice fly back in the second.
Oh, Martine.
Well, Kelly was yelling at the second baseman to boot it.
Yeah, he was. We'll go to the 9th here at Turner Field. All Braves tonight, 9-0.
Go to the ninth. Braves up 9-0. They've shut the Padres out on 5 hits. Here's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. Talk about hitting the jackpot tonight. All 9 starters got at least 1 hit. 17 total tonight for the Braves. Their season high is 18. A lot of popping going on in the lineup tonight to try to get the bad taste out of their mouth from losing the first 2 games to the Padres.
Hey, it's the AT&T call to the bullpen. How do I know, Joe? I know you've asked me because it says it right there.
Okay.
Buddy Carlisle's back.
Welcome back, buddy.
Good to see him.
What about his numbers at Gwinnett? Remember, he was out of gas. He couldn't figure out why he was so tired. They finally found that he had diabetes. He's gotten that under control. He's healthy. He has been pitching brilliantly at Gwinnett. 12 games, 15 innings, 1 walk, 23 strikeouts. A 1.76 ERA. And I believe he worked last night in their game, so getting back-to-back work.
Yeah, his weight dropped, his energy dropped. He said he weighs about 205 right now. But it got down to as low as about 190. There's Diaz, and that'll drop down out of play.
Yeah, speaking of caveman approach, it's 9-0 in the ninth. We don't need any wall banging there by the right fielder. And that man was probably yelling easy, easy to the right fielder on that occasion.
Two and two now.
What a great feeling of relief it must be for Buddy once the diagnosis came down that, hey, at least I know what it is and we can get a handle on it, and to come back pitching good again.
Yeah, I mean, it affected him mentally for sure. He said that he just his energy and motivation to play waned a little bit, and he was really concerned. And I think you're right. I think it did come as a relief to some extent to know, okay, here's the reason for this.
Yeah, he said he was even skipping workouts in the weight room, and he said, and I never do that, but I just didn't have the energy to do it.
Left center field, Infante there. At the conclusion of our game, Ron Gant, O'Brien not tonight. Fred Hickman will take a bow, and Jerome Jurinovich. They'll all be jumping. There'll be no lightning or rain. Braves Live coming up. Up the middle, Kelly Johnson handles the chance. 2 away.
Yeah, remember last night we talked to Fred in the middle of the game, and we're teasing him about how I've seen that dugout fill up with water before, and it just about did.
Yeah, it did.
So they've done what they needed to do tonight. A must win, had to have it. Have a little bit of momentum going to Philadelphia, especially when you know that the Phillies, Rockies, and Marlins all lost today. Good to get that game back.
3-hit game for Matt Diaz. That is hit well center field. Gurecki. And that'll hit the seats. Venable breaks up the shutout. That's the third home run he's hit against the Braves this year.
It's a shame to lose the shutout. There's that stance again with the elbow very close to the body. Moves the hands up a little bit, though. And really not much doubt about that to straightaway center.
Tomorrow night it'll be Pedro Martinez and Tommy Hanson. And Braves live at 6:30 from Citizens Bank Park. Padres down to their final strike. Braves up 9-1 in the ninth.
Padres head down south to take on the Florida Marlins. Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. Then they go home and play Washington for a couple of days before going on the road again. That's an odd one, isn't it? I mean, you're on the East Coast playing the Eastern Division teams, Atlanta and Florida. Then you go home to play Washington for 2, and then go play the Dodgers on the road.
Yeah, it's weird. Just missed. The 3-2, and it's ball 4. So frustrating for Buddy. After getting the first 2, he gives up the homer, then the walk, and now the catcher, Nick Hundley.
Finish it off right here. Got a plane to catch.
Yeah, this one got started about a half hour late because of rain. And we stayed dry, and we were looking at the radar. It didn't look good. Escobar will gobble it up, throw to first. That's the ball game. Braves win it 9-1 the final. Braves got a well-pitched game tonight from Javier Vasquez, who is our